Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going on a modern-day treasure hunt to figure out exactly how you can reclaim lost assets right here in the state of Kansas. If you've ever moved, changed jobs, or maybe had a relative pass away, this is absolutely for you. We're going to walk step by step through how to find and secure what is rightfully yours, and we'll break down this typically bureaucratic process into a super straightforward, totally manageable journey. So let's kick things off with a pretty massive question. Could you have stagnant assets sitting in a state trust rather than in your own wallet just because of a simple address change? Now, you might be thinking, well, not me. I keep pretty close track of my finances. But the reality? Forgotten bank accounts, uncashed checks, or dormant shares slip through the cracks literally every single day. A misplaced piece of mail or, a forgotten utility deposit from a decade ago can quickly turn into abandoned funds without you even realizing it. And look, we are not just talking about pennies here. To date, the Kansas State Treasurer has returned over $464 million to rightful owners. To put that into perspective, that is nearly $500 million just waiting out there. This proves that this is a very real, very lucrative opportunity for residents and heirs alike. Reclaiming this money isn't just about the financial benefit, though, let's be real, that is for sure a nice bonus. It's really about the peace of mind that comes from securing your personal assets and putting your money back to work for you. Okay, let's dive into the roadmap for our expedition today. We'll be covering 1. The unclaimed property mystery. 2. Searching for Kansas cash. 3. Submitting your claim online. 4. Pro tips and common challenges. And finally, 5. Final steps and resources. Section 1. The unclaimed property mystery. Let's demystify what we're actually looking for when we use the term unclaimed property. So, when contact is lost between a business and an owner, the asset undergoes this legal process called escapement. Basically, it gets transferred to the state's unclaimed property division. But here's the kicker. The state doesn't actually take ownership of it. They just hold it in trust, in perpetuity, waiting for you to come claim it. That means whether it's been 5 years or 50 years, the money remains yours to claim. Unclaimed property isn't real estate or abandoned houses. We're talking about tangible cash assets. Things like uncashed payroll checks, dormant bank accounts, and even safe deposit box contents, which eventually get auctioned off, with the cash proceeds held in your name. Just imagine someone moves out of an apartment in Wichita, right? And they forget to give the electric company a forwarding address. Well, that $150 utility deposit eventually becomes unclaimed property held in their name. Also in Kansas, given its history, a massive source of these funds comes from suspended oil and gas royalties where an operator just simply lost track of the rightful owner. Now, this all revolves around something called a dormancy period. That's the specific timeline it takes for an asset to officially be considered abandoned under Kansas law, and it varies depending on what the asset actually is. Uncashed wages, or those utility deposits, they only take 1 year of lost contact before they're sent to the state. Checking accounts or safe deposit boxes take 5 years. Once that clock officially runs out, the business is legally obligated to hand that money over to the Kansas State Treasurer for safekeeping. Section 2. Searching for Kansas cash. The absolutely crucial step is figuring out if any of those dormant assets actually belong to you. We can break this whole bureaucratic hurdle down into a simple, frictionless 4-step digital process to get your money back. You search the database, you submit your initial claim, you verify your identity and ownership, and then you just track the progress until the check arrives. You're going to start by jumping onto the official Kansas State Treasurer's secure web portal. The specific URLs you want are missingmoney.ks.gov or Kansas Cash. And I want to pause for a super important disclaimer right here. Searching for and claiming your assets will not cost you a single penny when you use these official state websites. Always verify you're on the official.gov site so you can avoid any potential scams or bogus fees. Once you're actually in the database, you really want to cast a wide net. To uncover all potential matches, don't just search your current name and call it a day. Get creative. Try historical or maiden names, especially if you opened a bank account years before tying the knot. Check for common misspellings of your last name. And definitely search for any business addresses you might have used, and look up deceased relatives. So many people successfully claim property as an heir to an estate that they had no idea was even left behind, literally turning up funds that can completely transform their financial situation. Section 3. Submitting your claim online. Let's keep moving and see how this builds into the actual submission process once you hit the jackpot and find a match. The digital interface operates a whole lot like online shopping. You just add the property to your digital claim card by clicking Claim. Then you'll be prompted to confirm your info to ensure the state is sending that check to a valid current mailing address. Once you hit submit, the system generates a unique 7-digit claim ID. Definitely write this down and keep it handy. It is basically the golden ticket for your specific case, and you're going to use it repeatedly. Next up comes verification. You have to prove you're the rightful owner by securely uploading your digital documents. You'll need proof of identity, like a driver's license or a social security card, and proof of ownership connecting you to the asset, like an old pay stub or a utility bill showing your old address. Make sure your files are in standard formats like PDF or JPG, that they're clear, they are not password protected, and that they stay under the 10 megabyte size limit. Taking just an extra minute to double-check your documents here is a massive pro tip for maximizing your claim success rate and dodging those annoying bureaucratic delays. Section 4. Pro Tips and Common Challenges. As we navigate this treasure hunt, let's keep an eye out for some common traps and roadblocks you might bump into. Scam protection is absolutely vital. You might get a sketchy email, a random phone call, or a letter from a third-party asset recovery firm saying, "Hey, we found your money and we'll help you get it for a 10 or 20% cut." Ignore them. Always ensure you are using the official state site. The Kansas State Treasurer provides this entire service for free, so there's zero reason to ever pay someone a finder's fee for something you can easily do yourself in 10 minutes. Actually, Kansas law specifically has your back here, protecting consumers from predatory fees. The law clearly states that no one can charge a finder's fee within the first 2 years after an asset is reported. On top of that, the state registry cannot be used for commercial solicitation. So if someone is reaching out to you demanding a fee, they are almost certainly just trying to take a cut of funds you are perfectly capable of reclaiming completely on your own. Now, a quick reality check. While the digital upload works for the vast majority of claims, you might hit a roadblock with more complex situations, and it really helps to manage your expectations. If you're claiming an asset on behalf of a deceased relative, or maybe there's a dispute over ownership, you aren't going to be able to just upload a simple PDF. For these situations, you will actually need to mail original notarized documents, like a certified death certificate or official proof of estate administration, directly to the state treasurer's office in Topeka. Section 5. Final steps and resources.
All right, we are on the final leg of our expedition to bring your missing money home.
Remember that 7-digit golden ticket, the claim ID we generated earlier? You'll use that claim ID from your confirmation email to easily track the processing of your check right on their online status page. Depending on how complex your documentation is, claims are usually resolved within a few weeks to a few months, so just check back periodically so you know exactly when to expect your funds in the mail. If you get stuck at any point along the way, the Kansas State Treasurer's team is incredibly helpful, and you can reach them by phone or email. Also, since we all know people move around a lot, you shouldn't just stop your search at Kansas. You can hop over to missingmoney.com, which is run by the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators, to search a massive national database for assets that might have ended up in completely different states. Your money is being held in trust forever, but it does you literally no good just sitting in a state account. We've shown you exactly how to search securely, avoid the scams, and submit your paperwork completely for free. If hundreds of millions of dollars are waiting to be returned right now, the only question left is, how much of it has your name on it? Go start your search today.